The measure of a man is what he does with power. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Justice means minding your own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. The price of apathy towards public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible, but there arriving she is sure of bliss and forever dwells in paradise. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Those who tell the stories rule society. Ideas are the source of all things. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. He who wishes to serve his country must have not only the power to think, but the will to act. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Justice is not simply the will of the stronger, but the harmony of the whole. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future in life. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. To love rightly is to love what is orderly and beautiful in an educated and disciplined way. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. Excess generally causes reaction and produces a change in the opposite direction, whether it be in the seasons, or in individuals, or in governments. The unexamined life is not worth living. The greatest privilege of a human life is to become a midwife to the awakening of the soul in another person. Wealth is well known to be a great comforter. Character is simply habit long continued. When there is an income tax, the just man will pay more and the unjust less on the same amount of income. Better a little which is well done than a great deal imperfectly. Necessity is the mother of invention. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. The greatest mistake physicians make is that they attempt to cure the body without attempting to cure the mind. Yet the mind and body are one and should not be treated separately. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Poetry is nearer to vital truth than history.